Very top focus this hour. Some information that NewsX has accessed. This is a copy of the dossier maintained by Indian intelligence agencies on Hardeep Singh Nijjar, which shows exactly who Nijjar, the man purported as a Canadian citizen by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. It shows exactly who he is. Let's in fact take a look at some of the finest details of these exclusive dossier copy that we have accessed. I have it opened on my screen in front of me. I would like to showcase it to my viewers before roping in the panelist joining us on the broadcast. So this of course is a rather crucial piece of information that is maintained by Indian intelligence agencies. His name has been listed out over here, as is his father's name, Pyara Singh, his date of birth, his address, which was Surrey in British Columbia in Canada, his affiliation, the KTF, passport details, other such details. Cases against Nijjar have also been listed down. The FIRs have been 4 of them, particularly in Patiala, in Bedi, as well as in Ludhiana, can be showcased to our viewers right there on the broadcast. Of course, our intelligence agencies have also maintained a list of activities that Nijjar was involved in. Remember, viewers, he is a Khalistani who has repeatedly propagated secessionism of Punjab from India. Over here in this document, it lists down the fact that he is a plumber by profession and believed to be the financier and of arrested KTF Chief Jagtar Singh Tara. He was introduced to Tara by US-based terrorist Gurneek Singh alias Neka. He visited Pakistan in April 2012 for 15 days, wherein he was trained by Tara in arms handling and making of IEDs. He sent about rupees 5 lakh in September 2012 for personal use of Tara and another rupees 5 lakh in 2013 for purchase of paraglide from Spain. Tara trained Nijjar in operating handheld GPS device through his associate Harjot Singh Biring of USA. This training had taken place in December 2013 in Vancouver. As per plan, according to this news that we have accessed, this dossier copy that we have accessed for our viewers, Nijjar was to travel to India and collect the dumped arms and explosives using GPS coordinates. After the arrest of Tara in Thailand, he went to Thailand to meet Tara so that he could personally go to Pakistan carrying Tara's message for the ISI, which is of course the intelligence service of Pakistan. Remember, viewers, it's often been touted that ISI has a hand behind financing the Khalistanis. He of course travelled to Lahore in the first week of November 2014 to deliver Tara's hands. A crucial part of this document that I would like to highlight is once again the cases. It is really interesting that he is of course designated as a terrorist under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act by the Ministry of Home Affairs. In 2020, he was organizing arms training camps in Canada where he trained individuals in using firearms like AK-47s and sniper rifles as well as pistols. His Pakistan connection, which can be seen in the list below the activities section, which I'm showing to all of you viewers. This of course showcases links with Babbar Khalsa as well as the ISI. He's also raised a 4-member KTF module which carried out targeted killings. The NIA had of course declared a cash reward of rupees 10 lakhs on Nijjar on 22nd July 2022 and has filed a charge sheet against him in the NIA court in Mohali. Meanwhile, of course, joining us on the broadcast are a host of panelists this afternoon. Joining us first of all is Mr. N.K. Sood, internal security expert, as well as Ambassador Deepak Vora, former diplomat, and Major General A.K. Sewach, defense expert. A very good afternoon to all panelists joining us on the broadcast. I would like to come to Mr. Sood first. What do you make of all these details? Canada has time and again always commented that they have quote-unquote credible information, but as our Ministry of External Affairs maintains, Canada has not provided a shred of evidence to India. And here we have documents. We have documents stating the criminal activities of Nijjar. What is your reaction to this?
My simple reaction to this is, you say that these are the cases against him, these are the charges against him, but the Canadian government takes this as battles. They are the battles for them because they want to use such kind of persons against India. Countries like Canada and some other European countries, they are jealous of India. They are jealous of India. They cannot tolerate India coming to such heights because when India is coming up, they are going down. So this is the reason. You see, in the 70s and 80s, what was the position of India? Same position is today of Canada, and the Canadian government, which had the position at that time, they have now, that position has been given to India, and Canada has slid down. So they are jealous of India. They know everything. We had been telling US also about the militant activities and the Pakistan militants and Kashmiri militants operating in the US. They never took notice of this. They laughed at us. But when 26/11 came, they learned the truth. After that, they started taking action against the militants. They know everything. The same situation will happen with Canada. Canada will also face the same situation, and then Canada will learn. They want to learn things the wrong way. They are not able to accept India growing. They are not able to accept themselves sliding down. Canada wanted to be a member of the Quad. India did not entertain Canada. So these people are jealous of India. And secondly, one more reason is there. These Sikh militants, they had been collecting a lot of money in the Gurdwaras, and that money had been transferred to the Canadian Prime Minister, present Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Even George Soros, anti-India campaigner, he had been spending a lot of money in India in anti-India activities, and he is also funding this Justin Trudeau. So this is the reason. They know what Khalistan is. But you see, they call themselves as human rights protectors, and they say we have good laws and everything. You just go through the case of Karima Baluch. She died in Canada on 22nd December 2020, and within 3 days or 5 days, because earlier she was missing, and she was found dead just near a lake. So these people just took 7 days time to declare that there is no evidence, there is no foul play. So they have double standards. They have double standards for India. They want to target India. They want to weaken India. This is what the Europeans have been doing during the 50s and 60s. They had been supporting Pakistan against India, whether it was 1965 war or 1971 war. But today, India had emerged a powerful country, big country, and they are basically trying to still pull down India. But you see, if you talk of Canada, nobody talks of Canada these days. Nobody thinks of them. This Prime Minister, when he came for G20 summit, he had come fully prepared. Even before that, he had wanted to raise the issue of Russia-Ukraine war, and he was very much worried why India is not inviting Zelensky at the G20 summit. So he was upset. When he came to India, he was provided a hotel. Presidential suite was reserved for him. He didn't go there. He said, I would stay in this presidential suite because he was little afraid. He said he was afraid that maybe the Indian intelligence may keep watch on his activities, or as you know, today electronic surveillance is very important and all the agencies are using them. But India or other important countries don't use them against the friendly countries. He shifted to an ordinary room. Why? Because from there he wanted to indulge in some some activities against India. And along with him, there was a large team of Canadian intelligence people who had been trying to contact various people, various militant groups inside India. Their aim is to destabilize India, weaken India, but he never expected that India would take such a strong step against Canada. Actually, you see, the problem with Canada is that they expose an Indian officer. They expose him as law officer. They did not think twice. And who exposed? Their prime minister and their foreign minister. India retaliated. India, when they exposed India's one of India this mission officer and said that he was a law officer, then India also took the same kind of action against them. And now India has decided that your mission people, you have a strong, long mission, very huge mission. You cut down your people, especially actually I think the 18 intelligence officers who had been staying in India and working in the this Canadian High Commission, they are being given marching orders. So this was never expected. They never expected. Justin Trudeau never expected it. Canada never expected it. But now, when India has taken strong action, they are seriously disturbed. Now, Justin Trudeau says that India should cooperate with them in their investigation. This Nijjar, actually, he is a Canadian citizen. He was killed in Canada. He was killed in Canada by a Canadian officer, by a Canadian citizen, and India doesn't have any role in that. In case Nijjar was killed in India, it would have been a serious issue for India, but he was killed in Canada. So how we are concerned? And secondly, when we don't have a raw unit in Canada, another Sikh militant, he was killed. So how they can hold India responsible? How India can cooperate with them? So these are the questions which they need to answer. We don't need to answer all these questions.
All right, another piece of information that we had gotten and we had addressed in fact earlier was that earlier this year a US no-fly list was leaked because of a security flaw, and a very interesting aspect of this list, I have it on my screen so if we can show that to our viewers, we've shown it a while back too, was that Hardeep Singh Nijjar's name is on this list. I request my crew upstairs to please, lovely. You can see it right here. I'm zooming in so that our viewers can view it once more. Yeah, there it goes. So this is a US no-fly list. But apart from this, other rather interesting information is there on the dossier. This pertains to Pannu. Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. His details have been put out by Indian intelligence agencies, his father, his mother, his spouse, his date of birth, nationality, which lists him as a US and Canadian national, his address, which talks about his law firm that has offices in New York and California, as well as the addresses of these offices. And a Chandigarh address can also be seen incidentally. Apart from this, there is more information against Pannu, his passport details, his affiliation, his qualification, and a long list of cases against him. I'd like to remind my viewers that Pannu is the same Khalistani who had come out and who had raised anti-India slogans a mere 1 day after Trudeau met with Prime Minister Modi in New Delhi at the G20 summit. There were brazen threats made by him against India. He was raising slogans. Of course, that movement has been calling for the assassination of our diplomats on Canadian soil. And on this note, I would like to rope in Ambassador Vora, who's been waiting rather patiently. Justin Trudeau accuses India of foreign interference in Canada. Meanwhile, Canada has been harboring these Khalistanis who want to secede Punjab from India. They have put out a tableau showcasing the assassination of former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, and they have also, in fact, called for the assassination of our diplomats. What exactly was Trudeau thinking when he made these remarks? Because it seems as if there were more domestic compulsions that sort of prompted him to make these remarks, because he perhaps did not envision the international ramifications or the fact that India would stand up against Canada and its attempt to sort of rake up another controversy and pull India into something that we have not been involved in.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Always a pleasure. An honor to be on NewsX, to learn from you, and of course from outstanding General Sewat and my colleague Mr. Sood. Their knowledge is much greater than mine. Today, I was very happy to sacrifice my swimming from 1 to 2 p.m., which I do every day. That's because this is a very important issue. And by the way, I haven't lost this head worrying about just out Trudeau. I had gone to Guru Vayur and I surrendered my head to the Lord. Now, the question right here that you raise is about this character. Ma'am, Justin actually means fair, just, honorable, honest, righteous. And the Canadian Prime Minister is a disgrace to his name. Thanks to you, and of course you have accessed this information. I've been in diplomacy long enough to understand. Everybody and his neighbor and the neighbor's driver now knows who this Nijjar fellow was. I hear, and I'm repeating this very slowly, General Sivach, I hear credible allegations, quote unquote, credible allegations that he was Trudeau's male partner, which is why Shrimati Trudeau walked out of the marriage. I also hear credible allegations that when this Nijjar character was exposed, a fellow called Just Out Trudeau ordered his elimination. Now, these are credible, not even reasons, but credible allegations. I'm only using Just Out Trudeau's language. So he ordered his elimination, just as he very happily looked the other way when that Baloch lady activist was eliminated a few days ago. They still haven't nabbed killers. And we talk about the Canadian Intelligence Service. If 15 or 20 or whatever of these jokers were sitting in New Delhi, doing what? Pretending to be Sikhs or pretending to be Punjabis? I'd be interested in knowing. Most of these intelligence chefs would probably have been from the Canadian Punjabi community. They wouldn't have been white Canadians who stand exposed, would stick out like a sore thumb in any meeting of Sikhs or India. Now, as far as this Ganna, what's his name? Panna, whatever this character's name is. The fact that he has been making all these statements, etc., and suddenly the Canadian government says that we are not going to tolerate this kind of hate speech, and lots of people are saying terrible chap, bad fellow, etc. Ma'am, let me tell you something. This guy is obviously, this Ganna fellow is obviously a Canadian intelligence asset. He's been thrown under the bus. Why? Now the Canadians say, look, we are so careful about hate speech. We condemn it. We do this, that. We are going to arrest this fellow. Of course, they'll arrest him. They'll keep him in the presidential suite in some hotel for 2 days, release him, and then tell him, buddy, the trial that we are going to hold, like the Kanishka trial, will go on for 50 years. By then, you would have ascended to whatever heaven is reserved for terrorists, so don't worry about this. Now, these are games, ma'am. I've been long enough in the service, and I've done all kinds of funny things myself. We've been long enough to figure out what the game is. So the focus would now shift to this Panna fellow, and we would forget about what is happening. Unfortunately for the Canadians, the Just Out fellow continues to make one gaffe after the other. And you can see, ma'am, and again, I've heard credible allegations that he is on drugs, which induces bipolar disorder. So what happens? First he says, I'm going to do this to India. Next day, I love India. They're wonderful people. A day later, I'm going to teach them a lesson. The following day, Indians are such nice guys. I want to engage with them. This is going on. This is typical of bipolar personality disorder because he is on drugs. Now, I also hear credible allegations that our sniffer dogs detected cocaine in his suitcase. He didn't attend the Indian president's G20 dinner because he was high. He did not get out of his room for 2 days because he had taken an overdose of drugs. This is the reality. These are credible allegations, I'm sorry. Just as I've also heard credible lies that the fellow is an ass, which he is. So therefore, ma'am, at this point of time, thank you, NewsX, for bringing out the truth, letting the people of India know who this character was. And if Trudeau and his godfather, that Poros or Soros or Phosphorus, whatever that character's name is, if they think they can destabilize India through 20 or 30 or 50 Sikhs, ma'am, India has sons like General Sibach, like Mr. Sood. We'll make sure that these guys get such a bloody nose that the blood doesn't stop coming out. So the millions of people watching your show, take it from me, ma'am. I'm 72 years young. I have enough experience that India, which could have been easily destabilized, is long gone. This is a new India which gives twice as good as it gets, and the Canadians are now totally flummoxed. They didn't expect this kind of a response from us. I rest my case.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.